Hello everyone, this is our weekly 0206 and it's time for another comic book artist spotlight. This is episode number 10 and tonight's spotlight is on Bob Kane, the original creator, or should I say co-creator, of Batman. This video probably won't be real long because unfortunately, I don't have a lot of Bob Kane artwork. I don't have comic books from the 30s, 40s, and only a couple of comic books from the 50s that are not Batman comics and not Bob Kane comics. So anyway, we'll get started and I'll just give you a little bit of information on Bob Kane. Bob Kane, or Robert Kane, he spells his last name K-A-N-E. Well, he had it legally changed because his original spelling of his last name was K-A-H-N. And he had that changed early on in his comic book career. So Bob Kane was the original artist of the Batman comic, which was an immediate hit and has been in continuous production since 1940. With new stories almost every month, Batman was unique on the superhero scene of the 1940s as an ordinary human without any superpowers. Like I said, I don't have a lot of artwork to show you of Bob Kane, but I will show you some stuff that he done because there's some pictures on the sheets here. So continuing on, after publishing his first pages in WOW in 1936, Kane began working for the Eisner Studio in New York City as a staff artist. He created Hiram Hick, and between 1937 and 1939, he drew features and filters like Just Laughs, Pluto, and Peter Pup under the Fiction House label. In 1938, he also started working at National, or DC, Comics. At the time when Superman was just appearing, he started out doing fillers, features like Professor Doolittle in Adventure Comics and Ginger Snap in More Fun, and Oscar the Gumshoe in Detective Comics. And this is an example of Ginger Snap on the top, and then I'll show you Peter Pup. So this is Ginger Snap. Okay, and this down here is Peter Pup. All right. Kane drew a couple of adventure features written by Bill Finger, such as Rusty and His Pals in Adventure Comics and Clip Carson in Action Comics. The collaboration with Finger eventually led to the creation of Batman in 1939. The character first appeared in Detective Comics 27, which most of you know, and shortly after the publication of the issue, Kane hired artist Jerry Robinson to assist him on the feature. Kane and his team also created all kinds of colorful and bizarre criminals such as the Joker, Catwoman, Two-Face, the Penguin, and the Riddler. All right. Oh, and by the way, I did want to mention that Bob Kane was born October 24th of 1915 in New York City. And as I was saying earlier, his birth name is Robert Kane, and Kane was spelled K-A-H-N. Also, well, we'll get to that in a minute. Let me go on with this. So Kane would illustrate Batman until the mid-1940s. And although his name appears on the strip until 1964, the work was done mostly by other artists, initially Robinson, and later also Stan Kaye, Sheldon Moldoff, Dick Sprang, Jack Burnley, and Carmine Infantino. So Kane only done the Batman art for a few years before he turned it over to someone else, even though his name stayed on the front of the covers. As Batman evolved, a brooding, threatening quality was sustained in the predominantly black nighttime panels. The feature's quick success had led to several comic books, a newspaper strip version, and 2 movie serials long before the campy TV series of the 1960s. Batman has additionally appeared on virtually every form of merchandise known. This is a couple of well, there's a detective comic there. And that is what? Number 29? Can't really see it. Let's get up here a little closer. Yeah, number 29. Okay, that's number 29. And down here, if I can get my hand out of the way, is a panel from Batman and Robin. Just a few examples. And if I can get this paper to come apart, we'll go on. Excuse me. In the 1950s, Kane was asked to come to Hollywood to create a cartoon character and the TV show Courageous Cat. Developed from this, later he was asked to help with the development of the upcoming Batman TV show in 1965. Kane also created another cartoon in 1969 called Cool McCool. In the late 1960s, he began exhibiting paintings in galleries on both coasts. He released several sets of prints since the late 1970s and then wasn't involved with comics anymore. Bob Kane passed away after a long illness in November of 1998 in California. So that's the biggest part of what I have, but there was a couple of other things I wanted to mention, if I can pull that up here. I kind of remember what it was anyway, so maybe I can just wing it. There was a point in time when, in the 70s, when Bob Kane was showing his art and so on, and he gave one of his prints to Adam West. So Adam West, up until he passed away, had an original print from Bob Kane. So that's one thing I wanted to tell you. But there was something else. One little tidbit of information. I said I wouldn't go into this, and I'm not really going to go into it, but it's you know, for a long time, Bill Finger was not really noticed as co-creator of Batman. Pretty much Bob Kane. I don't know if you want to say he took the credit for it or everybody just gave him credit for it. However, Bob Kane does admit, or did when he was alive, that it was a conglomeration after Bill Finger came to work for Bob Kane. Bill came in while Bob was developing the character for Batman. And Bob Kane, my understanding is Bob Kane originally come up with Batman as far as what the character was all about. But when it come to coming up with the design of the character, Bill Finger is said to have been the one that changed. And I think you've probably seen, and I don't think I have a picture of it here, but you've probably seen the early drawing of Batman before he actually became the character, because they show Batman in a red costume instead of a gray costume. No cowl, just a little mask on his eyes, you know, kind of like what Robin wears. And it's said that Bill Finger was the one who suggested the cowl and suggested changing the colors of the costume to something darker and make him gray and blue. So anyway, and Bill Finger's the one that says that he did that. So, and my understanding is Bob Kane did acknowledge that Bill Finger did come up with those concepts for the Batman costume. So, that's pretty much all I have on Bob Kane. He really didn't do a lot of work. I mean, you know, he's most famous for Batman. He did do, they did bring him in on the Batman films and different things related to Batman, but really, that was his most significant work, and he really didn't do a whole lot after that. So he did create, you know, and co-create the Joker, Penguin, Riddler, Catwoman, you know, and all those characters. But other than that, I don't think he really got into it. I can't find where he really done anything other than what I've already told you as far as his, you know, before Batman, doing any creation of that sort after Batman. So I want to show you a few examples now. Of course, like I said, I don't have any original comic books of Bob Kane's. I do have some reprints. I do have this reprint of Detective Comics number 27. But as I said, it's a reprint. And I have this. This is from Wizard, and it's a reprint of Batman number 1. The foil cover. And I have a reprint of Batman number 1 here. So as you can see, Batman's artwork, or I should say Bob Kane's artwork, was much less detailed, much more cartoony, and inset with the old drawings and newspaper clippings and so on, or newspaper, the funnies and so on from the 1930s. And Batman's artwork evolved dramatically over the years. Of course, we've talked about already Neil Adams really coming in and making a big change in Batman's appearance, and then, you know, we've had other artists like Alex Ross, who has made him, you know, more like a real person, you know, in his paintings and so on. But yeah, so Bob Kane contributed a great deal. If it wasn't for Bob Kane, there probably wouldn't be a Batman, and I may not even be into comic books if that were the case. No, I don't. That's not true. I'd still be into comics, but I guess I'd have to have picked a different favorite character. So anyway, that's all I have for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. Haven't decided who I'm doing next. I have a few that I'm thinking about. Anyway, you'll find out next Wednesday. So please leave comments on these videos. I'd really like your feedback. Please hit that like button, and you know, anything that you might know on any of these videos that I do. If you have information, and I have been getting information from people, if you look through the comments in my videos, you'll see that some people have contributed a little more information about not characters, but about artists and so on. So if you're interested, please look through the comments and see what other people have to say, and we'll go from there. So please give me some feedback, what you like about these videos, what you would like me to do different or add to these videos. I'm doing this for you guys, so I need some feedback on what you want. I'm pulling information on these artists. You know, these are artists that that I like, and you know, and some of them are artists that, you know, I don't have a lot of comic books that have their art necessarily, but at the same time I still want to share, just like with Bob Kane. I don't have comic books from the 30s, 40s, and 50s for the most part. So therefore I don't have any Bob Kane artwork to show you other than reprints. So yeah, please share your comments, give me some feedback, let me know what you think, and we'll move on from there. So I was saying last week, I do plan on doing a contest fairly soon. I am right at the edge of 500 subscribers. It's went $4.98, $4.99, $4.98, $4.99 a couple of times. I mean, it's right there. So I'm almost there. And then I just went over 600 on my Instagram page. So I'm real happy about that as well. So I will be doing a contest real soon. Hopefully within the next couple of weeks I'll get it started. And yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I got to pull some books together that I want to give away, and so on and so forth. I'll be doing another, like I was saying in my last video, I'm not going to be doing a lot of what you'd call haul videos, because with this roof situation going on, that's going to pretty much deplete my budget for buying comic books. But not for a few months yet. I don't have to start paying on that for 6 months anyway. So so I'll get in what I can get in during that time. But I do want to start showing books that I already own that I haven't really shown. So I'll probably start doing that in place of haul videos eventually. But anyway, that's kind of where I'm headed right at the moment. And I guess I'll let you go now. Thanks for tuning in to my video tonight, and everyone have a wonderful week, and we'll see you all next video.